All right, before I get into my synopsis, I want to talk about this one play and this one play in particular. This play sums up the Rockets versus the Warriors matchup in Game 2. In what world is that not a backcourt? I despise the Warriors. But man, accountability up to 25 and beyond, man. We must hold everybody accountable. We must be honest, and we must be honorable men. This right here is ridiculous. I don't care if the ref is over here crouching because he don't want to get hit by the ball, but what are the other refs watching? What are the other refs watching? Since when can I catch the ball over the black line and throw it over the other side of the back? And it's utterly ridiculous. And these refs must be held accountable. They must be held accountable. There was a lot of questionable calls tonight. There's just a lot of ruckus going on tonight. This game was the equivalent of an NFL AFC championship. Chiefs and Bills. Neither team were the Chiefs, neither team were the Bills. But I'm saying, like, that's actually a bad analogy. I'm just going to say in general, in its totality, this game was the representation of an NFL game. Absolutely, man. Draymond Green, the San Diego Chargers actually need a tight end. We're trying to draft a tight end. We could use you, brother. I know you played at Michigan State. Yeah, there's some good film right here, man. Go ahead and send this joint in. You played phenomenal tonight in football terms. My gosh. Out there tackling a Ben Thompson, getting put in a headlock, pushing out of the headlock, putting Dylan Brooks into a headlock and then falling. And then you and Dylan Brooks get into a collision and you bump Dylan Brooks and he get the bro, it was just a lot, bro. And then Draymond started talking to Fred VanVleet, and they started going back and forth. Man, Draymond is a great person to have on your team. But, boy, if you playing against him, man, look out and wear some knee pads and shoulder pads and elbow pads and a damn helmet, man, like you skateboarding, because this is ridiculous. Moving backwards, though, Jimmy Butler got hurt really early in the game. Changed the whole dynamic of how everything was going to go, I felt like, because even though the Warriors were losing, it was just losing a guy like Jimmy Butler that early in the game. It's sad because if this injury becomes prolonged, and they don't play till Saturday, so he gets Thursday, Friday, so he gets 2 full days of recovery, but it's like a tailbone-ish injury. The way he fell was unfortunate. Ben Thompson shoots a free throw, goes to get his rebound. Him and Draymond get tangled. I saw with my own eyes. We can go we can go watch this damn clip. Give me 1 second. You actually go watch this clip, man. That's what social media is for. Okay. Let's watch this back. So what I saw before we watch, this is what I saw. I saw Draymond and Amin get tangled up. Amin then falls over Draymond's leg leaning forward while Jimmy just happens to be in the air and Jimmy takes a nasty fall. This is what I saw.
Watch how Ben Thompson trying to get through here.
Where's he's off balance.
Where's the push?
And I'm not even saying, I never said Draymond pushed him, but what I'm saying is from this angle, when they showed it on the TV screen in the game, you can see full body. I couldn't find a full body clip, but right here. So they're pushing, the man trying to get through. He's holding him in. A man, I think, falls over his leg and then just go. It looks
Where's the Where's the push?
Oh! Damn! Here's a full play. Here we go. You probably see it a little closer here. So look at him in. He's falling over legs and he's just leaning forward and Jimmy just happens. It just looks bad. That looks bad. I'm surprised that they didn't review this. And honestly, because that's a star player. This ain't no bench player. That's Jimmy Butler. I thought they would have reviewed it. But if you see the way Draymond reacts, he's more so, and as he should check on his boy. But if he felt, and this is my personal opinion, if he felt like Amin Thompson did something out of his way, to harm Jimmy, he would have been, oh shoot, Jimmy, and then been right at him in. But he knew they were tangled up, so like Draymond kind of knew it was just like unfortunate, wrong time, wrong place situation. That's what I saw. And then now I said in the last video, man, go ahead and play Trace Jackson Davis. Go ahead and play Jonathan Kuminga over Buddy Hield. They answered Jonathan Kuminga after Jimmy Butler went out, and I quickly understood why he's on the bench right now. And this is no disrespect. We are, man, accountability also 25, man. We got to be honest with everybody. And he came into that game, missed a shot, turnover, hit all glass, let him get an old board. It was a string of events, and I said, damn, he's proven why he's not in the rotation. Now, You even put Pat Spencer into the game because Pods was he wasn't feeling good. I think he had like the stomach flu or like he said a stomach virus or food poisoning, whatever the case may be. He played 14 minutes. We got to call a spade though. He had 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks, 0 turnovers, 0 fouls. He had 14 minutes with not a stat. Regardless if you're sick or not, we can't necessarily use that as an excuse as to why you don't get at least a rebound or assist. You do what I'm saying? He shot 5 shots, went 0 for 5 from the field. So it wasn't like he wasn't trying to be somewhat aggressive early. It's just his shots weren't falling. And what if his shots were falling? Would anybody be talking about, oh, he's sick? Honest question. Y'all let me know. But losing to anybody like that was huge, man. Secondly, Jonathan Kuminga came in the game. I said, damn, I see why. But in the same facet, I would like to have Jonathan Kuminga on the Sacramento Kings. I'm just saying. But this moves to my next point here. Game 3, going back home, I would insert Trace Davis. I said Trace Jackson Davis. I think it's Trace Davis. I would enter Trace more than Kevon Looney. See what he gives me. Because I already know Quentin Post is going to be my pick and pop guy. Or you split Quentin Post and you give Trace Jackson some time too. Because I just don't see how he doesn't play into this rotation currently against a bigger team in the Rockets, which they need a lot of size from off the bench. I think Trace could be a solid piece off the bench. And mind you, I didn't even know they had Kevin Knox. I was today years old when I looked at the bench and I said, is that lotto pick Kevin Knox? Anywho, let's talk about the players who played phenomenal tonight. Jalen Green, my gosh. Then it had a 40 ball. He was due for one, though. Due for one. He hasn't had a good game against the Warriors in over 10-plus games. I think during the season games, he averaged like 11.5 points against the Warriors, and tonight he exploded. So I don't expect that to happen again in Game 3. Law of averages. He played really phenomenal tonight, but going on that road, playing in San Francisco against that crowd is going to be a little different. The calls you're getting in Houston, you're not going to get necessarily in San Francisco. The holding calls that they were not calling for Stephen Curry, they're going to call those in San Francisco because Steve Kerr's going to put together a highlight, which coaches can do, and they're going to ship it off to the officials. They're going to say, look at these. I'm sure Steve Kerr already did that at the Game 1, but they're literally holding Steph off the ball, and they're allowing it. But in the same way, they're allowing physicality on both ends. But in the same way, I just repeated myself again, there is consistency on that part. At the same time, though, the refs had to be a little better, which is the flow of the game in the way it's called. That's just my only thing. Because technically, they can call a foul every time if they want to because they're holding Steph every play. But the same, and on the same side, there's moving screens in every play on both sides. So it's like, what you got to pick and choose what you're going to call. Does it ruin the flow of the game? That's what refs are thinking. Like they're like, does it ruin the flow of the game? Is it a necessity to call this foul? It's kind of fucked to think about it, but this is probably what goes through their mind. They're like, is it really worth stopping the play for that? Is that play gonna, like, if us not calling a foul, is it gonna hurt the play? You know what I'm saying? So they're real time humans. They're going through all those emotions and progressions in their brain as well. Yeah, Steph Curry though, man, when he's out there by himself without Dre, without Jimmy, it's tough because the Rockets are able to just fire every single screen. He didn't really get a single coverage all night, and when he did, he hit a 3. I think it's when they had a possession where they hit 5 straight 3s in a row, back and forth. It was like Warriors. No, I think it was like Houston Warriors, and I think Houston. Anyway, it was like 5 straight 3s, and that was like the one time where I seen Steph actually get free and hit a 3. Other than that, he has someone in his grill every time. And the reason why is because the Warriors are engaging in the DHOs or they're engaging in ball screens. And even on the pin down screens, all the Rockets are doing is switching high. So as soon as the ball's, like, say, on the left wing and Curry's on the right side and sending him a pin down, there's no opportunity even to slip it because they're contact switching, which is very huge in basketball. So if I'm setting a screen and the guy who's guarding me switches, but he's contacted me, now I hit the screen, he contact switches. Now my slip isn't available because the guy's over my top side. And then the helper's the helper. So now it puts you in a bind. You're not getting those slip opportunities that you usually get in the Warriors offense. So the Rockets have done a phenomenal job on that. And the Rockets aren't even a great shooting team in the season in terms of percentage-wise, okay? But tonight, well, they still want the best. From 3, they as a team shot 37%, 15 for 40. The Warriors still hit more threes than these guys and took more threes. So, like, they won the game. The Rockets did on the O boards, on the O glass, and just, I mean, getting defensive stops, limiting the Warriors to one possession. You know what I'm saying? The Warriors had 7 O boards. Rockets had 11 O boards. When you get 4 more opportunities, man, that could be a 12-point difference. You dig what I'm saying? So the Warriors struggle with the athleticism and physicality of the Rockets. Even in game 1, you kind of saw it a little bit because the Warriors still haven't cracked 100 points. The Rockets finally cracked 100 points tonight, but it's like the Rockets just couldn't make shots, in which the Rockets aren't really a great shooting team, so you kind of expect that. But the way the Rockets stay in the game is their freaking defense. When they sub off the bench, they have no drop off from like defense from point guard to center. It's a beautiful thing to watch, and that's what keeps them in the game. So going into game 3, it's going to be the same game plan for the Rockets. Be physical, see how much the refs are going to let you be physical, and then you deal with the rest of the repercussions later. For Steph Curry and the guys, if Jimmy's not able to play, that's going to be huge because we're going to see what we saw before Jimmy got there. Hey, everybody else beat us. They're going to literally be yelling, everybody else beat us. Steph is not going to get his shit off one-on-one. But having Jimmy Butler there, it allows you to, because Jimmy can now set that screen and be the short roll guy, or Draymond can set the screen and be the short roll guy, and he has Jimmy in the corner for a slash, or Jimmy in the corner. You know what I'm saying? So it's like having Jimmy Butler on the floor, you're so more versatile as a team, and without him, it sucks, man. So, yeah, my synopsis of this game is we kind of seen the same game in game 1. It's just the Rockets hit shots tonight, and the Warriors still shot. And the Warriors still hit more threes than the Rockets. Let's look at the foul count real quick, because everybody was complaining about the fouls. The Warriors had 18 fouls called against them, and the Houston Rockets had 17. So the foul count was pretty normal. See how many free throws they shot. Free throws, 18 free throws for the Warriors, 20 free throws for the Rockets. So the complaining about the refs, I don't get it. For the flow of the game purposes, I understand it. But we've seen Amin Thompson get 3 fouls in the first quarter. We saw Dylan Brooks get in foul trouble like in the first half. We saw Guy Santos get 4 fouls in 5 minutes, which is ridiculous. But you feel what I'm saying? So the refs on both sides were pretty consistently bad in some cases. But they called it a consistent game. It's just my personal opinion, man. Let me comment on what you guys think about. I don't want to talk about too much about the Celtics and Magic. Tatum didn't win. Celtics win by 9. I got to be honest, bro. That series is a drag. It's hard to watch. And there's not no knock to the teams. It's just, bro, styles make fights, and that's just a style of fight that I do not like watching. But I watched it. Paolo and Franz carry the team as best as they can. But the Celtics just got too much firepower, bro. But yeah, that series is not a series I'm excited to actually watch. I can't believe Game 3 of the Nuggets and Clippers game is on NBA TV tomorrow. How do you even allow arguably the best series in the first round to be on NBA TV? Secondly, the Cavs and the Heat. Man, that series for me is tough to watch too. Y'all let me know if I'm tripping. Like, I don't mind watching it, but it's just the Celtics and Cavs series right here against the Magic and the Heat. This is just a tough matchup for me to watch, man. It's just I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But like the next round, the Celtics is the winner of the 3 and 6, so the Pistons and Knicks. Oh, I'm all over that. And then the Cavs get the winners of 4 and 5, so that's Indiana and Bucks. I'm all over that too. But in the West, I think the West just got heavier matchups, man. Like, this is a great first round matchup to watch. Clippers, Nuggets, Lakers, T-Wolves, Memphis, OKC. That shit gotta go. I ain't gonna lie. That OKC Memphis, man, gotta go. Like yesterday. That joint gotta go like yesterday. But that's all I gotta say for today's synopsis video. Game 2. Another night in the NBA playoffs, man. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button if you haven't, man. And this is Sell on there. I'll catch you guys next time. Sayonara. Peace.